Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hello. For women visionaries in transition who want to cultivate a solid foundation of aligned self-care practices, I am the change guide for growth that helps you streamline and accelerate your journey to authentic expansion, ease, and joy. We are jumping on for my new Visionaries in Transition Facebook Live series, where I interview the amazing and inspiring impact makers in my network to discuss the transitions that have shaped their lives and businesses. So if you're joining us, please like, comment, and share below, and let us know that you're here. I'm happy to have you. So today I'm talking to Kristina Ebert, who is a photographer. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thanks. I'm so excited to be here as well, too.
Awesome. So tell me your backstory. How did you get to where you are today?
So I am a lifestyle personal branding photographer. That's a huge, long title. But just like most photographers, I started out as a hobby, just taking the event family photos and just capturing those moments. Then I was supposed to actually take a course with a friend at my local community college, just doing some fun continuing education classes, but she ended up backing out and not joining me. And I continued on, which I'm really glad I did, because then from there, that kind of led me down this path of like, hey, this is my art. I've always been a creative person, but I've struggled to find what's my art. And photography, I loved it. I fell in love with it completely. And I experimented, playing around, just learned. I dabbled in everything, doing babies, families, newborns. I'd actually photographed a birth, a few small little weddings.
Wow.
They've all were amazing experiences, but it wasn't love until I found personal brand photography. I had done a fun project with two friends. One was a mobile filmmaker, and the other one was she makes hand stamped jewelry. And so we had just had this fun little round robin of taking photos, taking videos of each other. And so when I'd given her Alexis, the hand stamped jewelry owner, the images I took of her, she had professional images to use with her business, added them to her website. And it was just really cool to see her make those connections with her clients and use them and see how they're used. And then after I did that session, I was like, this is it. This is the photography that I want to have a business with. And I realized I want to work with small business owners. I, especially do love working with women. I do work with a few men here and there, but I love being able to help business owners and help them grow and succeed at their own business. It's very fulfilling and rewarding for me on many levels. Yeah. And it's a lot easier to work with adults than kids.
Yeah. And brand photography makes such a difference for the visual understanding of a brand, what they stand for, what their approach is, because you really, that phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words. You can't really fully describe the holistic brand without bringing photography into the mix.
Yeah. Right. You want to show you as the professional. So to do that, you need to look at as well too.
Totally. So let's get into the nitty gritty. What transitions have shaped your journey here in life or business?
Definitely have. So in business, when I started my business in January 2020, right? This is the year I'm going to start my photography business. Oh, wait, never mind. We're going to, do a little exploring, a little playing around, and then once things to open back up. There's Danica of Green Door Sound Bath. She's starting to host some local networking events, and I'd seen some images of that. You were just cell phone photos, and I'd reached out to her, kind of being a little nervous about it, but I was like, hey, I would love to, just come to a networking event and do some, event photography for the event. And she's like, actually, I have this idea. I would love to have you come to the networking event and do pitch shots. And also have another, businesswoman as well too there that does, some hair and makeup touch-ups for the ladies who want to have their images, as well as having someone there who makes their own jewelry. And then so if ladies want to get that little earring piece that's, perfect little accent to images, you guys can all work together. And I was like, okay, that's a little scary, but okay, let's try this, let's do it. And yeah, with her, support and just continually, she's very much uplifting person and supportive person. That this the event ended up just completely nailing it. It was fantastic. I was able to connect with so many people after that, and just also learn that how amazing it is to have a group of other business owners to connect with and to have support them as well as you being supported too in your business. And it was just one of those experiences. It was just life altering in many ways, and continuing to be within her networking groups and connecting with people, and it's been fantastic. I don't know where I'd be without that I'd done that last summer. And it's been an amazing journey since then.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in business and in life is like it really does take a village at the end of the day. And I remember when I first opened my first business back in 2014, people are like, you need to get out there and network. And I was like, what is this concept that you're speaking of? I was like, I don't know what you mean. I have to go talk to people. I'm like, but my sign's on the door and I have the website. Like, that's enough, right? But no, you really have to make these relationships and devote time and energy and resources to cultivating close relationships because it's a snowball effect. Who you might be introduced to today might somewhere lead you like 6 months from now to someone who's so aligned with you, so perfect for you, so on your vibe that it's really makes a difference.
Yeah, well, especially it's coming out from a different job where, just being an employee and you don't need to network, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And to all of a sudden be, your own business. And that is a key part of it, is creating those connections because, you meet one person, but they know, 10 plus other people. And then, it just keeps on growing to who you may know and who you may connect with. And you never know who's going to connect you.
Yeah. There's still people that I'm in touch with back when I networked from my first business who I still love and cherish today. And we still have a thriving business friendship of sorts. And it's just so fulfilling when you have that community support and those supportive social structures. Like, I talk about that all the time in my work. Like, you really need to have a group of cheerleaders around you. You have to have a team of people who know more than you do about certain things as well and can point you in the right direction or introduce you to the right person or help you fill out those gaps that you are missing because we are imperfect human beings. We can't be the best at everything all the time.
Yeah. We can't wear every hat. We have to share the hats with other people.
Yeah, totally. So what were the big lessons that you learned along the way throughout this process?
Yeah, so definitely along the lines of with that story as well too, is never letting fear hold me back. Had I not just kind of overcome this fear of like, let's just reach out to her, I wouldn't have maybe I wouldn't have had the experience I had. Even just, hopping on this call with you when you had sent me this email of, would you like to participate in that? I'm like, being on videos is not my favorite thing, but I'm working on getting past my comfort zone and, getting past those personal judgments. And I realized that if I'm fearful or anxious of something, I need to actually do it even more. And I need to just do it and embrace it.
Yeah. That's definitely where we find our growth curves, it's like life is continually moving outside that comfort zone and going to the unknown zone. And you find those edges of your capabilities. You find that edge of your comfort zone. But true happiness, true success lies beyond that. And so you need to embrace that process of, one of my mentors calls it strengthening the courage muscle. Like, you really need to work it out as if you are working out your biceps or working out your quads or whatever muscle group you're focusing on. Is like, it does take practice. And speaking of the videos, I was actually talking to someone about this the other day too. Like, I've been producing videos pretty much every week since 2019. So I like, it's old hat for me, but I had to start the same way as like all of you guys do. It's like, you have to have your scripts pasted up next to the camera to make sure that you stay on track and that you don't babble for like eons about stupid stuff. But it's all practice at the end of the day.
hmm Yeah, it's like fear is one of those things. It's our brain's just trying to protect us,
Totally.
right? It's a change, it's something different, and it's just trying to protect us. But then, once we get past that fear, it's like, oh, our minds was just building up, that a whole lot more than what it actually was. And once you get done with it, you just look back at all that fear and you're like, why?
Mm-hmm.
So I realized that, since I'd read that in the book, I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now I just need to stop worrying about the fear and just do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many acronyms for fear, like face everything and rise. I know there's some other ones that I can't remember right now.
Yeah, and I'd like to turn, even if I fail at that thing that I have tried and been fearful of, it's still a great learning experience. I really haven't, even if I've failed, I've learned a huge lesson of, that didn't work. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to change, go do things a little bit differently. Yeah. So, yes.
Yeah. I always say that I learn something from everyone that I speak to, even if it's learning what not to do.
Yep.
Because again, we fail forward as business owners. Like if we're afraid of failure, we're never actually going to push beyond that comfort zone and not be I've been thinking a lot about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs and self-actualization. Like you have to push beyond that comfort zone to get to that self-actualization stage and make things happen in that space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what are some tools or practices, like practical things that you use to support yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically during this process?
Yeah, I definitely have a few that I use. For me, books are a big thing in my life, for both just enjoyment books. And I usually try and do an evening fun book, right? So it's my time to unwind and just enjoy, a fun story. Yeah. And then I'll use a daytime book as my self-help book. Definitely read some amazing books that way that have just been, life-changing. I also am very much, I love taking care of my body. So, working out and, the physical health is very important. So I have my whole workout routine that I built my habit of, 5 days a week workout plus, walks. So like my kids are half mile from school, or we live a half mile from the school.
Wow.
So we walk to school, rain, shine, doesn't matter. It's a good exercise for all of us. So we walk daily, and also just feed my body, good, whole nutrient dense foods. So I just got to take care of my body. I only get one, so I got to take care of it. Also, the new thing that I've been using is utilizing crystals. So I have my lapis with me to help with my communication right now. So I'm definitely wearing all my lapis. I love them. And then I've been doing journaling. That's been a newer thing as well too. I have my morning kind of positive affirmation stuff that I'll write. And then evening time is kind of my time where I just mind dump whatever is going on, just circulating in the brain, whether it's negative or positive. I just kind of journal it out. I always try to finish that page with something positive or goals that are my monthly goals and just kind of repeat those. And also I've started learning tarot and using oracle cards kind of just to help with those daily kind of guiding tools as well. And that's been a fun thing to learn and to delve into and just have it to support me, my decisions and life and see what it's going to offer me.
Yeah, I really love how varied all of the things that you talked about are, because we do really need to look at our self-support in a multifaceted way. Like I saw a great meme the other day was like, if your self-care is only like eating chocolate and taking bubble baths, what's going to happen when you don't have those things available, but you still need self-care practices, so that you're able to have these other options that you can use so that you aren't wholly dependent on one self-care method versus another. Like, we experienced this in the beginning of COVID. Like, what happens when we can't go to the gym? Like, I had to make up all of these really weird exercises at home because I don't have a full gym equipment at home. So I had to like hold 2 barbells in one hand to get the weight that I wanted. And I didn't have a weight bench. So I had to string together a like little bench that I have and like 2 dining room table chairs, like end to end, in order to like lay down completely. Like, we have to get creative sometimes, and it's great to have this multifaceted toolbox that we can rely on.
Yeah, I mean, I still love my chocolate. That's no,
Yes.
definitely my little thing that I definitely love to have.
Yeah. But you can't, put all of your self-care into the hands of chocolate, although we want to sometimes.
And for me, it's always been, I've just been adding things as I've been realizing like I need something more, right? Initially it was a lot of just like the workouts. I figured out how to build my habit with my workouts. And then it was just kind of realizing, oh, I need journaling, right? Books have always been in my life, so it's never been anything new. But like I realized I needed journaling. I needed to get my thoughts and, some things down on paper. And then once I did the journaling, then I was adding that positive stuff in the morning as well, too, where there's just a few minutes sometimes, because that's my mornings are very busy with getting kids ready for school. So it's just like adding sometimes these little pieces, and that's what we forget about.
Totally.
Sometimes that self-care, what? All you sometimes do is just need to take sometimes just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Whether it's just sitting down on your couch and just taking some breaths for yourself. It doesn't need to be, going on a 30-minute, doing a 30-minute workout or doing a hike up a mountain. It doesn't need to be something like that. It can be something small. Those small things add up as well.
And I love the idea of experimentation too. Like you can try jump roping one day. You can try dance party the other day. You can try running around in the yard with your dog or your kids another day. Like you don't have to restrict yourself in these activities either, because again, we're just playing, we're exploring, we're experimenting, and you find those pillars that are tried and true that you return to time and time again. But you also, it's worthwhile to give yourself room for experimentation, like the workouts. Maybe I want to do bar one day or yoga another day or the elliptical another day. Like you don't have to put yourself into a box and be like, all right, I have to run 5 miles today, and that's the only way I'm going to feel good about myself.
Right? It's trial and error. You have to make it work for you. Like one thing I learned, how I built my workout routine was realizing, okay, I built like first thing in the morning, I get my workout clothes on. Right when I get out of bed, that's what I do. That's the first step that I do. Then it's, go out in the living room. I take some honey because honey is a quick carbohydrate that absorbs into your body really fast because I don't eat before I do my workouts. So I kind of, found these little tidbits here and there and just added them in, built them up into my habits, which if you've never read Atomic Habits, you really should. Because after I read that book, I realized, oh my goodness, this is how I built up my workout routine. Finding what works for me. Going to the gym doesn't work for me because I have kids. So I needed to do my workout first thing in the morning before my kids are up. And sometimes they'll wake up and they'll come out there, but they're usually fine and, okay enough that I can finish my workout. But you have to kind of do what works for you. Sometimes it is just that trial and error of what's right.
Totally. And
you can't force it.
Yeah, right. And going back to books too, like maybe you're an audiobook person. Maybe you're going to do better if you're listening to the books while you're driving around. Maybe you're listening to books while you're washing dishes. Like at the end of the day, that's also a form of emotion regulation. Like when you listen to music while you're working out, or I like to listen to music while I'm cleaning my house because it makes it an enjoyable activity. So it's not a chore. It's not something that I'm forcing myself to do. It's actually something that I'm enjoying doing because I'm modifying the experience by bringing in things that I like as well. And it's all about taking control of your emotional experience of these things and intentionally directing them to where you want them to go so that you have the experience you want to have. Yeah. Definitely. All right. Well, is there anything we want to cover before we wrap up for today? This has been awesome stuff.
No, I think we've talked about a lot of good things.
Yeah, totally. So really powerful stuff here. And audience, we definitely encourage you to share your own thoughts and feelings and insights and stories with us as well. We'd love to know how transitions have impacted you in your own lives and businesses. And special thanks to Kristina for joining me today. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. I've enjoyed being here as well, too. It's a good experience for me.
Yeah. So also, I'm always looking for more guests. I'm actually booked out to the end of June and July. So if you're looking for spots, that's where they're open again. So if you're interested in coming on this series and sharing your own perspectives, please reach out to me and I'll send you the sign up link. And I can't wait to chat with you all. So in the meantime, please comment, like, and share below, or subscribe depending on what platform you're on. And check out Linktree/Liminal Clarity for all of my links. And Kristina, where can folks find out more about you?
You can find me at www.kristinawithak, and then same with Instagram. It's the same Kristina Pearl Photography handle on there, and Facebook as well.
Awesome. So until next time, please remember that your authentic self is extraordinary, it is wonderful, and you owe it to yourself to create the elevated life that you know you are capable of. So until next time, take care, everyone.